Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode. And like we always do, giving you guys exclusive and enjoyable videos for you guys to share opinions. Yes. And like we have always been doing, this one it says, should women give a proposal ultimatum to their partner? And if you don't understand this, like should it's like a threat. I don't know, ultimatum is like a threat. Like it's like you telling somebody, do this for me. If not, I'm leaving. Or get me this, if not, this thing will happen. Those kind of things, yes. And is it right for a woman to give their partner a proposal ultimatum in their marriage? So for me, my opinion is one or the other. In some certain cases, it's okay, and in some, it's not. On ultimatum, it's like it puts the partner that is receiving the ultimatum some, to be cornered with. Maybe he doesn't want to lose his relationship with you, and at the same time too, he doesn't have the capability to do what you are asking of him. You feel what I'm talking about? Yes. Some ladies be like, okay, I want you to marry me in the next 3 months, and if not, I'm leaving this relationship for good. He doesn't want to lose the relationship, and he also doesn't have what it takes to wife you up. You feel what I'm talking about? Yes. So, and it should, and in some cases too, the ladies are tired. You see how dating in this economy is going on, playing, and this fake stuff is now becoming, normal something. So maybe the previous relationship, she's tired of being lied to. Her time has been wasted enough, and she think that she's done. So it's either you wife her up or she's done for good. Some ladies are, how times have been wasted enough, and she think that she doesn't want her time to waste it, because how can I be with you for more than 10 years and it's like we are still in the dating zone, you haven't even moved to the next step. And some men too don't feel threatened by this thing. Because one, you the lady, you're already acting like a wife material. You cook for him, looking for him, like you do everything. You live in the same house with him, so he won't even feel the need to, move to the next step, which is proposing to you and getting you and making you a wife. Because you already do the wifey thing, while you're not even wifed up. Yes, some men aren't threatened by it, and some too are moved by it. And you see, you can't force somebody to do something that he think he can't within his means. He can't. You can't force somebody. It's really actually it's not nice to. In some cases, I do understand a woman who give proposal ultimatums, and in some cases too, I don't understand them. So these are some videos of people sharing their opinions on this thing, and if you also have some, you actually pin it down in the comment section. So let's watch.
What do you have to think about? But after the sort of 1.5 year mark, I was like, I'm not going to waste any more of my time here because I'd rather be single. I would rather be single. And I love being single, for the record. I didn't want to give an ultimatum, but unfortunately, he's Mr. Chill. And he wanted to get married to me too. But I think it just would have taken him like 100 years. He's slow. I don't want to spend that time. I'm already sure of what's going on here. I wanted to get married before I had kids. I said that to him, and he did it. And congratulations to him. He's getting to marry me and I'm getting to marry him, all because I pushed it along. Ultimatums are a real thing. And I don't think we're talking about this enough, because I think all of us want that, oh my God, I just really wasn't expecting this. Can you believe this? This just came totally out of the blue. I'm here to tell you, 85, if not higher, percentage of proposals are because of ultimatums. That's my hot take. I think we should be normalizing ultimatums because it's actually damaging to see all these surprised engagements, because they're not real. They're not real. Literally every single person I know has given their partner an ultimatum. Yet we're trying to pretend we're not giving ultimatums.
I feel like ultimatums are the most inconsiderate things in the world and in relationships. Because an ultimatum essentially puts the other person on the receiving end between a rock and a hard place. You either do what I'm telling you I want from you, or I'm going to leave this relationship. And obviously, your partner might not want to leave that relationship, but they also might not be capable or might not be ready to do the things that you're asking from them. And because they're not doing it within a timely manner for you, now you feel like they don't love you, they don't care for you because they're not listening to you, because if they wanted to, they would. If they loved you enough, they would just do it. And I feel like an ultimatum takes away from the other person's perspective and how they feel and what's on their mind and when they want things done. Reality of it is, I feel like you should discuss expectations at the beginning of the relationship. So instead of waiting a year and a half into the relationship and realizing that you're not married or you're not on track to be married when you feel like you want to be married, you should discuss that at the beginning of the relationship. So that way you and your partner know, okay, my expectation is I'm expected or I'm wanting to be married within 2 years into the relationship, and I'm wanting to have kids within 4 years into the relationship. And see if your partner's on the same page. Because in that moment, at the beginning of the relationship, is where you two are able to acknowledge that you two are on the same track as far as your wants and your needs and future goals, or because they're too different, you two aren't compatible and you two should find other people to be with. But when you wait a year and a half into the relationship and all of a sudden realize, oh, I want to be married, so I need to give my partner an ultimatum because they're going to wait 101 years to do what I want them to do, that feels icky to me. The ultimatum, as far as you marry me when I ask you to or I'm going to leave, almost feels forced. And anytime you force anybody to do something they're not ready to do or they don't want to do in that moment, how does those situations usually turn out? That's where my mind goes.
That's why there is something called communication in relationships. Communication, that's why it's very, very important. Talk to your partner, be whoever. Tell him or her that, oh, within these few years, I want to get married, I want to settle down. And within these few years, I want to have my kids. To see the other person's mind, if they're on the same page with you at the beginning. And ladies, if you tell a man this thing, okay, within 2 years, I want us to get married. And within 4 years, I want us to be done having babies. Don't remind him again. Like, if he really wants to, go to some place with you, if he really wants to wife you up, like, he will do it. Literally, it will be in his mind that, okay, I have to wife this girl up, I have to wife her up. You just don't come and give the man, maybe he's not ready for marriage and you are ready, so kindly walk out of the relationship. Simple. This isn't something. So you communicate at first. Okay, I want to have kids, I want to settle down, or I want to have kids before marriage, or I want to marry before kids, whatever it is. You sit down, you talk to that partner so that all of you become on the same page. And if you're not, you can know the fact that, okay, you guys are not for each other, and you go find that person who is for you. You just don't waste each other's time for so long, so many years, and it just ends up in tears or whatever. No.
At what point of your life do you need to be to throw an ultimatum at your partner? Everyone places different meaning when it comes to marriage, and that can be related to cultural factors, personal factors, family, and stuff like that. But the fact that he proposes and you guys get married does not guarantee that your relationship will actually last. Did you know that divorce rates are higher than 50%? They're actually significantly higher than 50%. So does marriage actually guarantee that your relationship will last? No. And throwing an ultimatum at your partner and saying, if you don't marry me, then this is it, we're breaking up, it just screams insecurity. It's like insecurity is tattooed on the forehead. Because if you're not secure in your relationship right now,
and even when you pressure that man, you give him an ultimatum to marry you, and he marry you later within that marriage, he can point to you that I wasn't even ready for this, you forced me. And just look. Yes, he can be like, I wasn't ready to get married to you. If a problem pops up or something, he can say it point blank, I wasn't ready to marry you, but you forced me. And it's crazy. So ultimatum on some side, it's good, whereby you don't want your time to be wasted, whereby you feel like your partner isn't ready. Like, he just, playing with you or just, throwing you around. And at some point too, it's inconsiderate. Yeah.
You're not going to be secure when you're married. There will be another reason for an insecurity, whether he's hanging out with his boys, whether he looks at another girl's Instagram, whatever it is,
it's going to manifest itself in different ways. Because the issue here is not the marriage. The issue here is the insecurity. There's a lot of emphasis on marriage in this culture and society, which is, again, it's understandable. It's everywhere. It's in the media. It's in the movies. It's everywhere. But statistically speaking, marriage is not the institution that actually works and succeeds. I'm not saying that your personal marriage will fail based on the statistics. Maybe you will succeed, and I'm really happy for you. I have examples in my life of people whose marriage has succeeded for years and years and years, and I also have people in my life who got divorced right after getting married, pretty much.
And like I said before, society pressures women a lot. They have some written rules on when a lady is supposed to get married, they're supposed to have kids and everything. And I think that is also part when a lady gives a guy an ultimatum. Yes, it's also part of it because her time is being wasted, the time is going, the age that society has given her to get married to. I think that's part that I was getting near that. And you can see that the man didn't show any readiness in getting married to her. So definitely, she will feel the need, she will feel the pressure to, give you an ultimatum. And maybe you two are not ready for it. So you have to understand both sides. I'm not supporting women, I'm not supporting men, I'm not supporting this, so I'm not against it either. But if you look at some certain factors, you will understand some people, their actions.
Giving your partner an ultimatum like that puts you in a very weak position of desperation. And I feel like in this case, it goes deeper than just marriage itself. There are as many opinions as there are people in the world, and this is just mine. Love and peace.
I believe in giving them an ultimatum or deadline for a marriage proposal. No.
I believe in the 2-year rule. It should be around 2.5 years for a man to date you and propose to you. When you start dating a man, you should communicate to him that you anticipate to be proposed to within 2 to 2.5 years of dating. That is the first and last time you ever utter a word about getting married. You don't provide ultimatums, you don't remind him, you don't ask for it. If he wants to, he'll do it.
I gave him the ultimatum and I told him that if he didn't propose to me by December 31st at 11:59 that I was gonna leave because I feel like I do all the wifey duties with no ring or no sign of commitment. We have 2 kids and I literally do everything, and after all of these years I feel like he should know already if he wants to marry me or not.
First off, if you're gonna tell me you have my good date to marry you, you can leave, because I am not gonna marry you when you tell me to marry you. I'm not running on your time to propose to you. And I'm gonna wait. And what's gonna happen?
You're not gonna propose.
If you leave, then you weren't meant for me.
He doesn't need ultimatums. He doesn't need empty threats. None of that. We all know today is December 31st. You're not going anywhere. January 1st, y'all still gonna be together. He's calling your bluff. That's why you never give ultimatums, because you know you're not really gonna leave this man. Not 1, but 2 kids together. Y'all been together for 9 years. You got a house together, all of this. The reason why he's not going to marry you is because he doesn't have to. You've given him everything. Like you said, I do all the wifely duties. You're cooking, you're cleaning, you're doing all these things. There is no incentive. This is what happens when you give boyfriends the wife package. They don't feel like they have to upgrade. Now, I will give him a little bit of grace.
Then don't do it. Don't do the wifey duties. You don't do it if he hasn't given, like, you've been together for so long. You have 2 kids. He hasn't wifed you up. And you are still doing the wifey duties. Like, Don't do the wifey duties. Who is forcing you? So as you are bothered by age, you can see the guy isn't bothered by age. He isn't. You're doing everything and he's not ready to get married to you. Don't you have to walk out of that relationship or whatever that you are in?
Both of you, because y'all got together when you were 13 years old, had your first child at 15 years old. Like, you guys, you were really young, and you're still really young. You're about to be 22. But I feel like there's a part of him that might feel like there's something else out there. He hasn't dated enough women to know what he really wants. I feel like he thinks he has plenty of time because y'all are still young. But that's the difference between sometimes men and women. A woman can meet the love of her life in kindergarten and be all about that man all her life. But for men, especially these days with everything available on social media, how easy it is to meet women and see women, some men feel like they have time because they've never had more options. And no matter how amazing you are to that man, some of them are still on the lookout for that bigger, better deal. If you ever give a man an ultimatum, you better be prepared to back it up.
I was afraid to get married.
But that to be said, would you give the advice to somebody to pressure someone else?
Absolutely not. There's no reason for someone to have to be pressured into marriage. You can use other terms. This is my partner. This is my life partner.
I'm like, pressure. Get into it. do it. There's so much pressure on women from society that they get. Men don't get that pressure from media. We don't get that pressure from friends. It's only makes sense to me why they pressure the man. The man is out there with the boys are like, don't get married. It just makes sense why the man is always pumping the brakes on the marriage, because their messaging is completely different than what women get.
It's a total picture, right? It's how much, what goes into making you feel like a complete being. And if you're not there yet, it's one of the number one stressors on a relationship is the financial.
I said, if you don't propose to me, you can say goodbye to me.
If you've been together with your partner for a really long time and they haven't proposed to you yet, should you give them an ultimatum? Dr. Rachel Vanderbilt, and I'm an expert in communication and romantic relationships, and the short answer is probably not.
Exactly. You are doing all the wifey duties, but you are not wifed up. So how is he going to even feel pushed to marry you? He has 2 kids with you. You've been together for 9 years. 2 kids, and you still haven't wifed you up, and you're still sitting down. You live in the same house with him. You are doing the wife duty, so how is he going to feel the need or feel pressure to wife you up whilst you are doing what a married woman is supposed to do whilst you're not a married woman?
Maybe. So first, if you've never had a conversation with your partner about marriage, you should take that step first. Don't assume that just because you've been together a certain period of time that your partner knows that you want to get engaged. Firmly, I would start with being very direct and explicit with your partner about what you want and how ready you are for that step. Let's say you have had that conversation and you're someone who's like dropping hints left and right and your partner just doesn't seem interested. You should only give them an ultimatum if you really mean it. If you're not going to break up with them without a proposal, then don't give them an ultimatum. Now, if it were me, I would go with a very frank discussion with your partner about the fact that you're ready for marriage. Let them know that if they're not at the same place that you are and they don't appear to be getting to that place anytime soon, that's problematic for you. Maybe you're not as compatible as you'd like to be at this point in your life.
Yeah, a man and a woman can be in love with you for a very long time and it will be all about you. But a guy will be like, I haven't tasted a lot of women, I haven't been with a lot of women, I haven't experienced a lot of things. So he wouldn't even feel the pressure to, marry you because he thinks he has so many time left for him to experience a lot of things. But as for women, when we fall in love with you, it's you. Like, everything is about you. Like, you feel me? Yeah.
Never want to force someone to engage in a behavior that they're simply not ready for. There's definitely not a problem with approaching your partner and giving them that firm nudge to say, listen, like, if you want to be married to me, this is the time to consider that. I want to be with you, and I want to be with someone who wants to marry me.
Why would I listen to you? It's about to make...
Pretty much she gave her boyfriend an ultimatum between marrying her or exiting her life. So there's a lot of debate whether it's healthy or not to give a guy an ultimatum. I think to avoid ultimatums, make your expectations clear from the very beginning. Now this is for my girlies who want to be married. If you're dating with the intentions that you're just having fun and you don't want to be married, this isn't for you. Girlies that do. From the moment you go on that first date, he should know that you are looking to be married. You are dating to be married. I would recommend no more than 2 years. Let him know. Hey, goal in life is to be married, and I wouldn't really date anyone past 2 years. Intentions. These are my intentions. I feel bad about stating your intentions. Like, men have no problem stating their intentions, as we know. They will let you know real quick what they want to do with you. This is a really good way to weed out, like, who's serious or not. Like, is he dating you for the right reasons? Like, is he dating you just for a good time, or does he actually want also to have a serious relationship and have a wife one day? Like, it'll weed them out quick. Now, y'all need to be strategic about when you say this. You can't just randomly just say it. Like, you guys have to, like, warm up to the conversation about talking about goals or future plans. Like, you guys have to be mindful on when to transition into saying something like this. A lot of girls are going to say, oh, he doesn't know me, I don't know him, I don't want to scare him away. But, like, the right guy is going to be on the same wavelength, thinking as you. Like, y'all are going to be on the same page. But don't let him leave that date without that on his mind. Like, this girl is not wasting no time. Because no, I'm not. Your youth is everything, ladies. That's why you hear about stories about men that have been with girls for like 7, 10 plus years and they never married them, and then they get with the next girl and they marry her in 3 months. Men know almost immediately if they're going to marry you or not. Like, it does not take long. So if he's been with you over 2 years, 9 times out of 10, he doesn't want to marry you. I just can't stress how important it is not to have men waste your time. Like, I be watching these girls in these 5-year relationships, just like.
One thing I want to add is men have all the time in the world for everything. Men have all the time in the world. But a woman, you don't. If you want to marry and have kids, unless you don't want to marry and then have kids, fine, then no. But if you really want to marry and have kids, you don't have all the time in the world. Men do have all the time in the world. They can date you for more than 15 years and not feel the pressure to marry you. Why? They think they can marry you anytime like they feel like it. And if they're not ready, they're not ready. But you, being a woman with society putting pressure on you with society's rule about women, you think that you need to marry at this stage, at this time, halfway at this stage, at this time, which is you don't have time. But for a guy, says he has all the time in the world. So if you think your time is being wasted, there's no need to give a man an ultimatum. You just move out of the relationship, go find someone who's ready. Simple.
But how? Where? Never me. It is silly to date someone for that long. But that's just me. I value marriage. If you don't care, if you feel like you get the benefits of being married without being married, then whatever. So that's my advice to y'all. Most important advice you can take if you want that ring. Welcome.
It's actually more detrimental to you than the other person when you give an ultimatum in a relationship. Let's talk about it. Hey, boo, thanks. So I want to talk about something today that is actually a little bit opposite than what I've actually heard other therapists, other counselors, other life coaches say. And it's talking about giving ultimatums in a relationship. So what is an ultimatum? An ultimatum is an if or then. Like, if you continue to do this, or if you don't do this, then I will do this. Well, here's the danger in that caveat. 2 things. One,
yeah, like the lady is saying, you have to choose somebody that you threaten to be with. Like, you have to be with somebody that you have to threaten to be with before. Like, some men are like kids. Some men are like I don't know if I say TV channel. You have to tune them. You have to, remote them. I don't know what words to put it. They are like kids. You feel me? Yes. You have to. Sometimes it's not the man. It's not sometimes it's not their intention to delay you or something, but like I said, they have all the time in the world. They don't feel they need to wife you up or something because they think you are there with them for life. Unless you bring their mind on it, that sweetheart, like, I think time is going, so like we have to hurry up, and get on with the marriage, whatever. Before you be like, oh yeah, it's true. Like, sometimes his mind's not even on it. Like I said, the main thing they have all the time in the world, so he won't feel pressured or triggered to do that.
when you tell a person that you have one more time to violate a boundary of 9, then you have already given them the power. What you are telling them is that I have already accepted the violation of my boundaries for so long that now I'm going to give you one more chance to F up before I actually make a decision to leave or make a decision to set a harder boundary or put something here. So now this is when you give an ultimatum, it's typically because you have had the same conversation, the same scenario, the same situation over and over again. And now you feel like I have to give an ultimatum in order to get this person to stop something or to start something. But listen to that. Listen to the danger in that. I have already been accepting this. So if I've already been accepting this, I've already given this person my power. So now I am telling them, you got one more chance to go ahead and violate me again before I let you go, before I walk away, before I set a standard and actually live up to that standard. So that's the danger of setting an ultimatum, is that you are telling this person, I am giving you yet again another chance to mess up or another chance to violate my boundary in that area. The second reason that you don't want to give an ultimatum, or that it's more dangerous to give an ultimatum, is that what happened? Are you really prepared to follow through with it? What happens many times is that we give an ultimatum and we say, if you do this or if you don't stop doing that, then I am going to leave, then this relationship is over. But what ends up happening? Majority of the time we don't leave. Majority of the time, a relationship is not over. Majority of the time, it is another argument, it's another fight, but yet we still stay. So we're not actually prepared to suffer actually the consequences of our own ultimatum, right? So I just want to give you this tips. I'm giving you this insight, and you get to make your own decision in this area. I'm not giving you advice on the decision to make. I'm simply saying, think about it from the perspective of, if this is something that has violated your boundaries for so long, why are you giving them another chance to violate it? And if you do decide to give an ultimatum, or you actually prepared to follow through with it? Because if you do not follow through with it, then at this point, you are now once again opening up the door for this person to violate your boundaries and letting them know that what you say, that you're actually not going to live up to it. Hope this helps. Follow for more. I'd love to hear your comments below. Let's talk about it.
I used to be one of those women that would give men an ultimatum or threaten to leave him if they didn't treat me right. Not anymore. Let me tell you why. First and foremost, an ultimatum is a form of manipulation. And secondly, threatening someone is just forcing them to do something that they really don't want to do. Do you really want to be with someone that you had to manipulate to be with you? Do you really want to be with someone that you had to threaten to be with you? No, that's not authentic love. You go with the person that chooses you, not the person that you had to force to be with you.
This is a great question because there is a difference between ultimatums and sharing non-negotiables. Ultimatums, they don't work. They break trust. They make men feel controlled. It backfires on you. But sharing non-negotiables shares with your man a line in the sand of what matters most to you. And you can ask him why marriage matters to him, what scares him, and it can be a dialogue. Men want to be a part of problem solving. They want to be able to have a dialogue. When you do that, you build trust and you give an opportunity for you guys to actually move forward if marriage is your best next step. And if it isn't for him, it allows you to be able to know with respect that this isn't your best.
Okay, so that's the end of this video. People share their opinion or whatever. Yeah, so you too can also share your opinion if it's okay for a lady should give his partner a proposal ultimatum or whatever. If it's okay for you, comment, give us your opinion, why you think it's good for a lady to do that and why you think a lady shouldn't do that, and let us know your opinions. For me, I've already shared my opinion with it, and yeah, I still stand on that. If you look at different perspective, you think sometimes it's okay, sometimes it's not, and you are free to comment your opinions and whatever that you want. And please, if you haven't subscribed to this channel, kindly do us a favor and subscribe and like it for us. Thank you very much, and see you in the next